Welcome to another episode of Out of the Closet into the Kitchen. Here we are with our chef, Joe LeClaire. And what is Joe doing? Let's go see.
Actually, today, David and I have a lot of herbs in our backyard. We have a lot of mint. As you can see, we've kind of pretty much decimated this, making mojitos and making all kinds of other Thai dishes. And we have a lot of Thai basil that we have over here. And Thai basil is a little bit different from the sweet Italian basil because it never really dies. As you know, with Italian basil, it goes into bloom. And once it goes into bloom, the whole plant dies.
What is going into bloom, Joe? What does that mean?
Well, Italian basil puts off a flower, kind of like what these are down here. And once Italian basil puts off a bloom, then the bloom begins to suck all the energy out of the plant, and the plant gets very bitter. Thai basil stays very sweet no matter what, and it never goes into bloom.
Now, let me look at the Thai basil for a second.
Thai basil has a very small leaf compared to the really large leaf that Italian basil has. And Thai basil is very easy to propagate. Italian basil you can't propagate the same way because you really have to start with a full plant.
Jeez.
Whereas with Thai basil, all you have to do to propagate it is take something off the mother plant. Now, this was my original mother plant, which has gotten pretty leggy and doesn't look very good. This is about 3 years old. So what you do, we'll plant another plant right now. When you want to plant Thai basil, you snip off a piece, and this is exactly what all of these were. You literally just stick it in the dirt, and in about 2 weeks you'll have plants this size.
That's amazing.
So tonight, in order to use up some of this basil, we're going to make a pad Thai dish from Thailand, but we're going to make it with lots of fresh Thai basil.
Now, is this a traditional pad Thai, Joe, or what's the difference?
No, it's traditional pad Thai. Might have some mint in it, and has tamarind and things like that. And we've got a sauce in there that are all set that has tamarind juice in it. But tonight we're going to add a little bit of Thai basil to give it a little bit of that Thai kick to it.
Now, I noticed some of the other herbs you have here. I see the basil you talked about, the Thai basil. What do you have over here in this pot right here?
This is Italian oregano here. Wow. Everybody knows what Italian oregano is. And down here we have some sage, which is struggling a little because we've cut too much of it. We cook a lot with sage. Over here we have some flat leaf Italian parsley, which we also just cut the other night and made pasta with. And down here, this variegated plant is, what is it? It's Greek oregano. This stuff literally will grow in a bulb head. Ask David, because I planted it on him, and we had a plant in 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
So we're going to cut a little bit of Thai basil and bring it in and get it ready. All you have to do is just cut it, take the leaves off, and you're ready to go. You don't even have to chop it, because it releases all of its aroma the minute it hits heat. So this should be good right here.
Now, I have to ask you a question. Could the average person at home plant in pots like this, or is it the climate that you're in down here in Florida?
Well, Florida's climate, you can grow literally anything. But down here, I find it a lot easier to grow herbs because where everything grows so prolifically. If you try to plant these things in your yard will be covered with Thai basil and covered with oregano. So
sounds like the type of grass I'd want to sit on.
So let's go in, follow me, and we'll get started.
All right.
Now to get started, these are classic Chinese rice stick noodles. You can buy these in any market, actually any Asian market, and actually most grocery stores will carry it also. When you buy them, they're hard as rock. So the first thing you do is immerse them in cold water. The package says to boil them, but if you boil them, they get really, really mushy. So all I do is just immerse them in cold water just till they begin to become pliable, and they bend a little bit when you pick them up. So that's how we start.
Now, Joe, if I was doing this, I'm the average Joe at home, no pun intended, and I buy these at the Chinese market, how long do I need to soak them for?
I only soak these for about 30-35 minutes and soften them up quite nicely.
Nice. Which life was it? We're back. We're getting ready to make the dinner. As you know, every good chef needs a little motivational. I have myself a nice glass of wine, red wine on the table there. Joe, what is your motivation tonight for the dinner?
My motivation tonight is going to be a Blue Haze Martini.
Blue Haze Martini? What is a Blue Haze Martini?
Well, a Blue Haze Martini is made with this liqueur called Hypnotique, and it's got passion fruit and ginger in it. And considering the fact that we're going with something as Thai, very Asian,
passion fruit, that sounds very sexy.
It is very sexy. And I think it'll go really well with dinner. So I'm going to show you how to make a passion fruit martini.
Cool.
Actually, not a passion fruit, a Blue Haze Martini. So obviously the first thing you need is lots of ice cube paper. Once you get your ice in your shaker, then you put a shot and a half of vodka, which is a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What if you can't count?
After a couple of these, you don't need to count. And
I think we've had those nights, not being able to count.
Then you put about a half a shot of the Hypnotic liqueur, and then you use white cranberry. White cranberry is very similar to regular cranberry, but it's picked earlier in the season before the cranberries go really ripe, so it doesn't have the same sharp bite to it.
This isn't that same stuff you can get at the coffee houses in Amsterdam.
Yes it is. You go, girlfriend.
Hypnotic. It sounds like I'm in a trance. I'm feeling sexy.
It is very sexy. Now normally when you go to shake in a metal shaker, every bartender will tell you shake it until the ice begins to form in the shaker. So that's why you always shake in a stainless steel shaker, because it conducts all the cold really fast.
Hey, can I ask you a crazy question? Why a metal shaker versus a plastic one?
Because the plastic shaker just doesn't conduct the cold the same, and a metal shaker conducts the cold very fast. You want some of the ice to melt into your cocktail.
Oh, so that's why you're saying that about the metal. I got it.
Now, before we pour it, we have to add a little bit of a garnish of watermelon, just because it's bright and it's fresh.
Wow, look at that. Holy camole. Look at this glass. He's got the watermelon.
This
look at that.
is a Blue Haze Martini
What
with
a
a pearl,
beautiful
passion fruit,
color.
and ginger.
The color is like nice. It's almost like the color of the ocean. You want to go jump in and just swim.
It's like the color of the pool, isn't it? Doesn't it make you thirsty?
Well, Joe, cheers, and I hope dinner goes good tonight. I didn't mean to interrupt Joe, but take a look at how beautiful these two drinks look together. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow, I had to show you guys this. Talk about putting the F in fabulous and the S in stunning. This is a centerpiece that Joe, this is stuff that grows naturally in our yard that Joe planted a couple years back. I can't even pronounce this stuff, so I'm going to have to ask him. Joe, what is in that vase?
In the vase is the tall flowers that look like bird of paradise. They're called heliconia. And these grow, I guess they kind of grow wild around us. We have them all around our pool cage. And this is a very big variegated arboricola. And these are red caladiums that come up. They're kind of like in Florida, they're a perennial.
Wow.
Up north, everybody plants them in planters, but down here, once you put the bulbs in, they're kind of like tulips up north. They come up every year. So, you know, it's kind of fun to just go out in the yard and clip some of this stuff and put it anywhere in the house.
I have to go closer on this. You know, what's that one right here again?
Which one is that? That is a heliconia. It's very much like a bird of paradise. It's like a miniature bird of paradise. We have a lot of bird of paradise in the property, but bird of paradise only come into bloom a few times a year. And these pretty much are in bloom non-stop. They come in lots of reds and oranges. They come in bright yellows.
It was heliconia and it was a capicola? What was that one?
Variegated arboricola. It's a star-shaped leaf down here. Everybody probably is more familiar with it up north as a type of schefflera. Down here, there are probably 30 or 40 different varieties of schefflera, and this is one of the varieties. It's a miniature version. It's called arboricola, variegated arboricola. It's variegated because it has bright lime green and dark forest green. And then the caladium, these things are magnificent. They come in whites, they come in pinks, they come in deep reds with a green like this is.
Wow.
And it's just a leaf that grows almost like an elephant. And they're so prolific. You plant one and you have 50 by the following year.
50? That's no elephant I've ever seen in my life.